Hey everyone, in this tutorial we're going to be looking at how to create reusable perform motions and how you can save those and apply them to different characters in CrazyTalk Animator 2. So to start, we're going to add in an actor. Let's go to the actor tab here into our character folder. Let's go ahead and add in our friend Saul here. Let's double click to add him in. Press the F hotkey to focus in on him. Now a little bit of an introduction to perform motions. They can actually include body, facial as well as audio data all together in the same clip. So body animation and facial animation and audio data in the same clip. So for an example, I'll go to my animation tab here and we'll go to the perform folder and let's take a look at this motion. We can have this dance motion here.
Shimon.
Alright, so we have some body motion, some facial animation, as well as some audio data included in that. That's the perform clip. So let's go ahead and go back to frame 1 there, and I can right click on this and select remove animation because we're going to create our own custom one. Now if I play it back right now, you notice we still have the audio because I removed the animation but the audio was not removed. So let's go press F3 and go into the timeline, and I'll go into my face tracks here, and you can see we have under voice clip we have our dance MJ Saul. So let's just select that and go ahead and delete it, and then if I play it back now, you can see we have a fresh slate to start from. So let's go ahead and add in our first animation. So we're going to do some body animation, we're going to do some facial animation, and we're going to add in some audio clips and the whole shebang. So let's go into body animation first. So I'm going to go to my motion folder here, and we're going to add in a 2D animation. And we're going to go down to the perform folder. These are just body performs, and I'll use this male applaud. Just double click that. You can see Saul does a nice couple of claps there. So if I press F3 and go into my timeline, let's close down our face tracks and open up our 2D motion tracks. And we'll just get a better look at Saul here. And you can see we have that perform clip in the motion track right there. That's our 2 claps right there. Now if I have looping on, I can go ahead and loop that a bunch of times. And you can see that you can loop it 3 times in a row. I can also click backwards and remove those loops. I can also stretch them. I can also adjust the speed. So if I stretch this out to about 39 or something like that, you can see that I'll have a nice dramatic slow clap. So that's pretty much what we want right there. We can I'll go back to the looping here, and I'll just drag that out a few times, maybe to about 150 there, and you can see that we have 4 clips here that have repeated. And those are all attached. So if I modify any one of those, it will modify all the other ones as well. Now if I want to flatten those, as in remove the separations between them, combine them all into a single clip, I can just right click anywhere on my tracks, go about here, and I can control B or select break, and then I'll have 2 separate clips. I have my 2 perform clips, and you can see the highlights right there. And I can just go ahead and delete this one here. So now we have our nice dramatic slow clap. Now what I want to do is I want to add in some facial animation. Now in facial animation, it's very important to note the hierarchy, the priority hierarchy in facial animation. So as you can see from this diagram here, we have 3 different types of facial animation. We have our expression data, we have our lip syncing data, and we have sprite replacement data. Now the priority of these, the expression data is the lowest. So normally, if you, in the general workflow, you start from your expressions. You can also start from the lip sync as well, but expressions will normally be the starting point. And then you can go ahead and add in some audio and create the lip sync to accompany your expressions. And then you can go on and do some more specific adjustments with your sprite replacement. So let's go ahead and follow that workflow. So what I'm going to do now first is I'm going to go into my 2D motion editing tool. Now if I press F3 and go into my timeline, I'll show you a shortcut here. If I have the face track open, you can see I have my voice clip, which is my lip syncing data. This is the audio data will be here. And I have my facial clip. This is the expression, all the expression data right here. And then the face motion tracks, which are the sprite replacement. So let's go ahead and twirl down our facial clip because we're going to deal with expressions first. And I can actually just double click anywhere in my face track, and once I do, my 2D motion key editor will pop up in the face section on the right hand side here. So now there's 3 different ways you can modify the expression here. Let's zoom in on Saul's face, and take a look at those. So we have the we can actually pick and choose different facial features, and you can see they're indicated by being highlighted orange. If I select those eyes, for example, and I move my mouse, click and drag and move my mouse up and down, you can see I can close my character's eyes. I can also add in the eyebrows as well, and I can click and drag, and the eyebrows will move along with the eye blinks. If I select these middle areas here in my forehead, I can, combine all those expressions together. So you can, and you can press this one to reset them all and move them individually. So if I wanted to just move my characters, we want to bring his, let's open up his eyes first so you can actually see his eyeballs. And we'll just select his eyeball here, and I can just click and drag, move that around. So that's how you can do a keyframe animation with your expressions. And remember, this is the lowest priority, so it would be replaced naturally with the sprite replacement later on. So let's go ahead and just reset these for now. And in the template tab right here, we can choose individual templates. So you can see if I select a happy template or a happy 06 template or whatever template, it creates a nice keyframe here and a five frame clip, and we can extend that clip as well. If I select angry, for example, see there's a couple of different angry profiles. There's all kinds of other ones. Sick. He looks fairly sick here, I guess. Let's just go back to a happy one. We'll go back to happy 6 because he has that nice content look on his face. In addition to that, we also have the modify tab, in which I can raise individual. Let's raise his brow right there. We can do that. We can raise the outer brow. We can lower the brow to make him a bit more angry, and you can combine all these together as you see fit for your motion. If I take, say, for example, I wrinkled my nose, it can also have an effect on the character's overall look as well. So for now, we're just going to actually just copy all of this data throughout our clip. So you can see here that let's just open up our 2D motion track, and we can zoom in a little bit more. What I want to do is just click and copy my face keyframe. I can actually just click it, and I don't need to actually copy it. If I just create another keyframe right here, if I double click right here on this frame, you'll see that actually it will extend this entire clip because I created a keyframe right here. It extended this entire happy expression clip throughout the duration of my applause. So now I have this happy expression throughout my applause. If I play back, you can see it's not changing at all, just maintaining that happy expression that I defined in my template tab right here. Now what I can do is I can add some audio data to that. But before I show you that, in order to extend your clip like I did here, you have to make sure you go up to the Edit menu here and go into Motion Clip and make sure that you have Clip Auto Extend selected. Otherwise, it'll just create two separate 5-frame tracks, or clips rather, in that track. So make sure you have Clip Auto Extend selected before you do that keyframe. It'll auto extend the entire clip right there, which is what we want. So like I mentioned before, let's go into create a script. Let's go to our create script tool over here, and we can record our voice. We can use text to speech. We can use a WAV file or a CrazyTalk script. Let's go ahead and select a WAV file, and I'm going to use this Sol applaud right here.
Bravo! Bravo!
Alright, so you can see there we have a nice little lip sync. If I wanted to go ahead and refine that lip sync, I can go into my timeline one more time, and let's close down the facial clip there and open up our voice clip track there, and let's close down our 2D motion tracks. And there you can see the audio data that we have, as well as the keyframes down here. So let's zoom in a little bit on our keyframes right here. If I wanted to refine this, you can see he's saying bravo.
Bravo!
Bravo starts about here. So you can see there's a T before the bravo. Here there shouldn't be any emotion on it, or any expression, or lip shape rather. So I can just double click that keyframe, and that'll bring up our lips editor here on the right hand side. And I'm just going to move and select that none. So it's basically going to be a neutral profile. Then I can right click or click that keyframe right there and just delete that actually. And right here I'd probably want a B kind of shape. And then I have my R already here. And then this one is IH. I can also use an AH sound as well. So we have bra, and then this one would be the V shape right here. And then this one would be R. We can just delete that. None, actually. We don't want that in there. And we want this to be, it can be the O and bravo, and then this one can be ooh. So it's when the O is kind of closing down to the end there. And then we can delete that one, change this one to a none. Let's take a look at what that looks like.
Bravo!
Okay, so it looks fairly good, fairly well timed. Now what I can do is, since he's saying the same thing twice, I can just select all of these other keyframes, click and drag in that track, and I can make sure they're all selected and just go ahead and delete those. And then I can click and drag in this area of the track, right click, copy, and then just go ahead and paste the same thing over here. We may want to, we can just delete this one and maybe move these over just so the B corresponds with the beginning of the second bravo there, maybe even a little bit before. Let's take a look at this one here.
Bravo! Bravo!
Alright, so that's a fairly decent lip sync, and you can of course spend more time perfecting it as well, as if you want. Now at this point here, if I want to add some more touches to the expression, I can do that as well. However, my mouth shapes will be maintained according to these lip sync keyframes right here. So no matter what I change in my expression, so if I go down to the facial clip again, no matter what I change in my expression track, the mouth shapes will be maintained because the voice keyframes have higher priority than the expression keyframes. Okay, so say for example, in maybe about this frame, I wanted to kind of blink my character's eyes. Let's just select a couple of keyframes. So if I just double click right here, double click maybe a couple frames down, and then double click here, and then I go into this middle keyframe. Let's go to our facial tab right here, and I can select those eyes right there, and I can click and drag those. You can see that kind of looks like a happy blink right there. If I wanted it to be a normal blink, I can actually just go back to my modify tab right here. And you can see we have our eye stuff right here as well. If I close my left eye, or close my character's right eye, which is to our left, you can see he has that kind of happy looking eye closed. If we just close the eyes normally, that'll create kind of a blink. And you can see here it's open, but there it's closed. Whoops. That frame it's closed. So let's take a look at our blink right there. So we just created a quick blink right there. And then maybe a little bit later, down at maybe frame 60 or so, I'll just go down here. What I can do is I can maybe just raise the eyebrows if I want. And I can do that with the facial tab, or I can do that with the modify sliders as well. Let's try it with the modify sliders, so we can just raise our outer right brow like that. And if we want, we can also modify his eyes a little bit as well. We can narrow his eyes, something like that, or we can stretch the eye edges, something like that. So you can see he's kind of has smiley look to his eyes there, and his eyebrows are further up. And we can actually just copy and paste that keyframe, move it over to about here, and just go ahead and paste that. And then we have that the normal look. But then from this point on, so for the second bravo, he's kind of smiling and raising his eyebrows a little bit there. And then if we want the initial keyframe to be further on there, we can just right-click this one, copy, and down here we can maybe paste that about right there, and you can see that we just went back to the normal face a little bit earlier. All right, so that's basically how you can combine the audio data, the lip syncing data, and the expression data all together using those different tools, either the template or the facial tab or the modify tab. Really depends on your own preference. Okay, so now finally let's get on to the sprite replacement, which, as I mentioned before, is the highest priority. So you'll normally want to save this step for last. So with our, we can close down the facial clip right now, open up our facial motion. We can open up our mouth, left eye, right eye. But we can actually just close all those down right now, because when I do select my sprite replace, so I'm going to close down my 2D motion key editor right now, and with my character selected, I'm going to select sprite replacement, or sprite editor here. And with the sprite editor, I can go ahead and select his mouth. It'll go to the face tab here. And you can see I can select all kinds of different sprites right here. Now, if I go ahead and maybe zoom out a little bit, you can see in my mouth sprite track, there's all of these keyframes here that have automatically been put in place by our lip sync. Now, as you recall, I mentioned that the sprite replacement will have higher priority than this. So if I go to frame 1, for example, here, and I choose to modify my character's face, the sprite replacement, and choose this happy one, take a look at what will happen now.
Bravo! Bravo!
So the mouse sprite is replacing all the lip sync data, all the expression data, and everything. If we wanted to, have it go back to normal earlier than that, we can just zoom in really close on our timeline here.
Bravo!
So maybe right before he starts with his bravo at about frame 15. So we'll go to about frame 10. And what I can do here is I can select this little reset button. And this reset button will actually reset back to the base clip, which is our voice clip, the lip syncing. So if I press reset here, he'll go back, and you can see I have this little line here that indicates how long that sprite change is taking place. So
bravo! Bravo!
And then, at that point here, we can maybe, at this point, have him go back to his smile.
Oh.
And about here. Right there. And that's his entire facial clip right there. So let's go ahead and play that back.
Bravo! Bravo!
Alright, so we have the blinking, the eye closing, the expression changes. And we also did the sprite replacement for the smile at the beginning and the end as well. So now what I want to go ahead and do is I want to collect my clip and save this. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit on my timeline, and about here is where I want to kind of end my my perform clip. So I'm going to open up my collect clip track here, and I'm going to click and drag for as long as I want my perform motion to go on. And then I can right click, and I want to select export perform. And when I do that, we'll have it'll save to our perform folder here, and I can call this something like Sol Bravo, and just go ahead and save that. And then we have our perform motion saved. So that's all ready to be reapplied and reused. So I'll just close down the timeline right now, go start a new project, and let's go ahead into our content manager. And we can choose a different actor this time. Let's choose, maybe we'll choose Walter. Double click on Walter and press F key to focus on him again. And then go to animation and custom and perform. And there we have our Sol Bravo. So let's go ahead and apply that to Walter.
Bravo! Bravo!
Alright, so you can see that we have the same expressions on Walter, just his sprites are a little bit different, but the same voice, the same body motion, and the same eye sprites and everything like that. Let's go ahead and add in Sol one more time. Go back to frame 1 and take a look at the same motion on Sol once again, since he's the original.
Bravo! Bravo!
Alright, so we have that one eye lifted. Forgot to lift the other eye because his hair's kind of covering it, but you can see it more on Walter. And this also works for morph-based characters as well. So these two characters, their faces are sprite replacement. They're sprite-based, so any expression is being created by the replacement of sprites. However, if I go into my actor tab, we have a G1 actor. His name is Mr. Rosenberg. We can go ahead and bring this guy in. And you see that when I bring this guy in and I apply the same motion to him, that his face is image-based and it's going to morph along with the motion. So let's go ahead and delete these guys. We'll go ahead and delete Walter. We don't need him. If I take Mr. Rosenberg here, I apply the same animation to him. Take a look at what happens with his face. It'll come up with this notification, basically notifying you how to apply, these motions to your G1 actors. We'll learn more about that. You can check out our Runtime Composer tutorial for more on that.
Bravo! Okay. Bravo!
All right, so there's the expression on the morph-based characters. You can see he has that very very excited face.
Bravo! Bravo!
All right, and you can see his hands are kind of a little bit messed up. But once we select the character, we can also replace those sprites. So if we want to change those sprites, we can just choose a different one right here. Maybe we'll go down to side. This one we have side B right there. We can choose the other hand. Choose it on the model right here. We can go down to side A. Oh, wrong one. Side B. There you go. And then we can have something that looks a little bit better. But anyways, the point of this is that
Bravo!
The point of this is that you can actually just save and reapply those perform motions to other characters. So that's about it for this tutorial on how to create, save, and reuse perform motions. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you have any questions, email me at developer@reillusion.com, or you can check out our forums as well.